All right, everybody, welcome back to the channel. I'm Brian Lee Durfee, author of The Forgetting Moon and The Blackest Heart, both books published by Simon & Schuster's Saga Press. Today I'm going to be reviewing 8 Million Ways to Die by Lawrence Block. This is book number 5 in his Matthew Scudder mystery series set in Manhattan. This came out in 1982. And let's review the cover. You know, I love graphic design and I love cover illustration. And each book that I do on the channel gets a review of both its cover and its story. So this cover is, it's okay. I mean, it's just a scene of a kind of a trashy Manhattan alleyway, I guess. Picture of the author on the back. It's okay. It does its job. I mean, I've got the entire Lawrence Block collection right there. Those are all my Lawrence Block books, so we've got the entire Matthew Scudder series over there. And we are to book number 5. We're going to be reading and reviewing all of them for the channel. Let's see. So it starts, it takes place in 1982. It starts with a hooker named Kim trying to get away from her pimp. So our main guy, Matthew Scudder's just minding his own business. And he's a cop, ex-cop, haunted. He's a drunkard. He's an alcoholic. He's trying to stop drinking. He's an ex-cop. He's haunted by the fact that he was in a shootout in a gangland in New York, and one of his bullets, a stray bullet from his gun, hit a innocent little girl and killed her on the sidewalk. During this shootout, he's dealing with a lot of issues. That's the main character setup. Well, anyway, he's just kind of chilling, and this hooker comes in, and comes into his life and says, "I need you to help me get away from my pimp. I'm a small town girl from Nebraska. I came to New York to follow my dreams. As soon as I got to New York, this dude became my pimp and promised me all this stuff. In fact, he set me up in a really nice apartment. He pays all my bills. All I got to do is, hoe myself out and give him the money. But I want out. But I think if I try to get out, he's going to kill me. And his name is Chance. So will you track Chance down? There's no way to get a hold of him. He gets a hold of me." So here's the thing. This is 1982. This is pre-cell phone, pre-internet. It's hard to track people down when they don't want to be found, and there's no computer trail to trace them. There's nothing. I mean, he's got to go from payphone to payphone and try to call this dude. And he's got one phone number that might be legit to Chance. And Matthew keeps calling him. And there's no message machines. The phone just rings and nobody ever picks up. He's like, holy shit, how am I going to get a hold of this? And then there's this really cool part of the book where Matthew Scudder thinks to himself an observation, almost a prophetic observation. He's like, this is 1982, and he's thinking, man, trying to play phone tag with someone who doesn't want to even answer his phone is like ridiculous. It sucks. One day, I bet technology will reach the point where we can just reach each other instantly with little contraptions and like little things in our that we carry in our hand, like little. He's like, I bet one day we'll just be able to, hey, dude, what's up? And everybody will be at our fingertips. I was like, yeah, Lawrence Block thought of the internet and cell phones in 1982. Well, maybe those things were already maybe in conjecture. I don't know. I just thought it was cool. Anyway, Chance is hard to find. The pimp is hard to find. Meanwhile, hookers are getting murdered all over the city. This book reminds me of The Deuce. In fact, I was wondering if HBO show's The Deuce was modeled almost after this book, with the young girls coming from Nebraska, and as soon as they get off the train, the pimp is right there to say, hey, welcome to New York. Let me show you around. I'll put you up in a hotel. All you got to do is, it's very much like The Deuce, especially when the Matthew Scudder goes and still looking for the pimp. He's going to all the seedy neighborhoods. But anyway, he eventually finds Chance the pimp. Okay, he eventually finds him, and he's like, "Hey, your girl Kim, she don't want to be a hooker no more." And Chance is actually a cool guy. I mean, he's actually a cool guy. He's like, "All right, yeah, she don't want to do it no more. Just tell her to move out the apartment and be about her business." And Scudder's kind of like, "Well, that went a lot easier than I thought it would." The thing is all of these hookers are still being murdered. In fact, some of the hookers that are being murdered belong to Chance. And Chance is like, "Hey, maybe me and you together, Scudder, could help. Maybe we could solve these hooker murders." And so they kind of pair up. They pair up. Scudder and the pimp pair up to use each other's resources to see if they can solve the serial killer prostitute guy. Anyway, that's the basic story. One of the prostitutes is a poet. One of the best lines I've ever heard in a book was from the poet prostitute when Scudder is asking her about, "Hey, you got your prostitute, you got two lives you're living, your prostitute side and you're an award-winning poet." And she says, it's a simple line, but it couldn't be more true. "Sex pays more than poetry." Oh, brilliant. Brilliant. Absolutely brilliant. Anyway, she gets killed a few scenes later. But the point of it is, it's a murder mystery where they're trying to solve the murders of prostitutes. And he and Scudder teams up with this pimp. It's really good. It's really good. I like this. It's the book number 5 is my favorite Scudder so far. The reason being is because it's about 400 pages. The books 1 through 4 were only about 200 pages each. So it seemed like they just flew by really quick and we didn't get to know the characters that well. This one, he takes a little more time. And the rest of the series seems to be, the novels are about 400 pages. So I think that this book is the one where he really hits his stride. You know, he hits it out of the park with this one. And the previous 4 were just too short. Now we've got some good beefy sized mysteries here to look forward to reading. And I think there's maybe 10 or 12 more in the Matthew Scudder series. Anyway, I really liked this one. I give this one a 9 out of 10. 8 Million Ways to Die. What does the title mean? Well, there's 8 million people in New York City. That means there's 8 million ways to die.